Hello there, lovely people. It's Alex from Nintendo Life here, and today we're going to be taking a look at what we consider to be the finest games coming to the Nintendo Switch in the month of March. Now, I'm aware we are a tiny bit later than we usually are, but there's been all sorts happening, and this week's only going to get more complicated. Hooray! As always, this is by no means an exhaustive list. It's simply what we consider to be the best, the merest cream of the crop, rather than the whole lot, because, there's a lot of games. There's a lot of games. But anyway, that's more than enough waffling. Let's dive right into things. Kicking things off on the 1st of March, we have Far Changing Tides, which, when this was originally revealed, I didn't realize this was part of a series, but it bloomin' is. The basic premise is that you are piloting, is piloting a term? A sailing? A big boat come submarine kind of thing? I mean, it's definitely more boat than sub, but still. And you need to go from left to right. And stuff happens on the way. We've actually reviewed this game already on NintendoLife.com, and we reviewed it very, very highly. And I'm in one of these positions where by reading the review, I already feel like I know a little bit too much about the game, so I don't really want to say it in the video here and spoil it for you all. If this looks like your kind of thing, then I'd suggest maybe tentatively giving this one a go, because I think it's going to be a great experience, and one best experienced as blindly as possible. So maybe look into it. Then on the 4th of March, we have the excellent-looking but stupidly titled Triangle Strategy. It's just a name. I know it's not that important, but I can't get over it. It's the latest game from Square Enix that uses the HD 2D style, and loads of people absolutely love this style. I, however, don't, but I can concede that I'm the minority in this case. I've always loved strategy games, but I've kind of fallen off the boat with them recently. You know, sort of maybe the past 2 or 3 years. Maybe it's just due to the amount of time that I have available being less. But they seem to be doing some really interesting stuff with this one, so it might be enough to coax me back. Then on the 10th of March, we have Chocobo GP, which is a racing game, also from Square Enix, if you couldn't tell from Chocobo in the name. If you were to put this game into a genre, I suppose I would say it's a kart racer, but at the same time, that doesn't feel entirely accurate. I mean, you should be able to tell just from looking at it that, the Chocobo's not even in a car. Some of the characters are, though, so I'm gonna stand by it. Whilst I don't think this is going to dethrone Mario Kart Deluxe anytime soon, it is interesting enough from what I've seen in order to stand on its own, and if, you're kind of Mario Karted out, this could be a nice change of pace for you. Although, having said that, it is coming out the same month as something else that we will mention. On the very same 10th of March, we have Young Souls, which is a RPG come hack and slash game with a surprising amount of asterisk swearing. I should have said censored, but I didn't. I'm really thrilled that the sort of beat 'em up stroke hack and slash genre seems to be getting a bit of a revival recently, and this looks like it's gonna be a blooming good one with a load of RPG elements thrown in. There's a big emphasis on story. Of course, don't know whether that's actually gonna be any good, but it looks like it's got good bones to it. Also, visually, it's just lovely. Just look at it, all the bold, sort of solid colors and everything. It just speaks to me in a way that other games don't. Then on the 11th of March, we've got .hack//G.U.Last Recode. I know that's not how you say it, but I couldn't resist. This is a complete remastering of the original .hack GU games, and an additional 4th game, or episode, or chapter, or whatever they're calling it, all bundled into one convenient package. It's been released on other systems as well, but it's finally coming to Switch, and, in terms of remasters, this is a very, very solid looking one, just purely on a graphical standpoint. The Switch is rapidly becoming the go-to place for RPGs, and I don't think that's a bad thing, and this is just yet another very shiny feather in its cap. How can that be a bad thing? Then on the 15th of March, we've got another another beat-em-up style game, sort of. We got Dawn of Monsters. You run around as a kaiju, destroying bits and bobs and mostly other nasty enemy things. And good lordy, do I love the style of this game. Just look at it. Just the art style. It's so bold and brazen and so striking. It's just... Whoa. As you can probably tell from the gameplay, it's very much an arcadey style game, and that may not be for everyone. But it's for me, I'll tell you that for free. Even if I only pick it up for, 20 minutes or something like that. Games like this are just wonderful to dip into whenever you just sort of fancy it. Then on the 17th of March, we have Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, which is a fighting game, which was news to me. Thought Persona was an RPG. That's a joke. Just like many of the other games on this list, this just looks gorgeous. I love the hand-drawn aesthetic. I mean, it's probably not hand-drawn, it's all digital, but you know what I mean. And whilst I wouldn't say the Switch was necessarily starved for fighting games, we got about 4 different kinds of Street Fighter, and certainly in terms of classic fighting games, we've got loads, but in terms of brand new ones, I'd say that we could do with a few more, and so this is definitely adding to the ranks. And it's themed around Persona 4, which is something that people absolutely adore, but is a game I haven't played, admittedly. I've played Persona 5, that's blooming good. Then on the 18th of March, we have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Pack Wave 1, and we're including this, but we're not saying it's one of the games. You see, you go through and count them, you'll see that we're including 10 items, but we only said 9 games. We're honest. This is the first wave, to the surprise of no one, of the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Pack, which is basically introducing, 8 new tracks? Yeah, it's 8 new tracks. I'm looking at them now. We've done videos about this in the past, and I am definitely excited for more Mario Kart 8 capers, but at the same time, I am a bit reserved about the quality of the tracks. They look a little bit, should we say, imported from Mario Kart Tour? Because I think that's what they literally are. I am definitely keen to see how it's going to pan out, though. I think it's going to be indicative of the quality of the rest of the courses, and who knows, maybe we're barking up the wrong tree and it's going to look great, but... Then on the 22nd of March, we have Rune Factory 5, which is basically Stardew Valley with a lot more violence. I'm being silly. It's definitely more than that, and this is a series that is beloved by so many people, and this game has been delayed, I don't even know how many times now. I think it was originally supposed to come out 2 years ago, or at least nearly 2 years ago, and it's finally coming out, and it's about blinking time, frankly. It's been out in Japan for a goodly amount of time already, but it's finally coming to the West in English. If you like your farming simulators, but you think there's just not enough violence and monster taming in it, give this a look. And finally, on the 25th of March, we have got the granddaddy of them all. Yes, it's Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Kirby Star Allies came out in 2018, and that was the last major Kirby game. Yeah, it did have a load of updates and stuff, I know, but even so, that was the last major Kirby game that came out, and it was okay. It was kind of a little bit by the numbers, but this, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, looks like it's going in such a completely different direction, and that's wonderful! So many Nintendo games are kind of having renaissance moments, and it's absolutely outstanding. We've had it with Breath of the Wild. We, I suppose, kind of had it with Super Mario Odyssey, except that was kind of... it wasn't really a renaissance moment. It was kind of going back to Mario 64, but at the same time doing a load of new stuff as well. Is complicated. And now we're getting a 3D Kirby game. And yeah, we kind of had a 3D Kirby game in the past on the 3DS, but this is much more going actually properly deep into the idea of it. And it's bringing in so many interesting ideas. Mouthful mode looks like an absolute laugh. I don't know whether it's going to be world-shattering by itself, but even the whole package looks absolutely phenomenal. I'm super excited. I just really hope it's not going to be too easy, or at the very least there's a hard mode. Star Allies got hard eventually, so who knows, maybe we'll be lucky. And there you have it, 9 sort of +1 fantastic, exciting new games coming to the Nintendo Switch in this old month of March. Did we miss a game that you're absolutely dying to get your hands on? Let us know what it is in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, then why don't you march ever onwards towards that subscribe button and then eat it. And be sure to check out NintendoLife.com for all sorts of lovely Nintendo-related content. Thank you again for watching. Bye-bye.